Hello everyone, right now I am going to talk about the game that I created, which contains two levels. Let's see what's happening in the level 1. Here we can see the three bad guys and the good guy who tries to collect the shurikens. Uh, it's not hard to play this, especially when you can cross the walls, and we can also see the score above and the remaining seconds. If we manage to play the game in those seconds, we will be declared a winner. Now let's collect the game. Here we can see the alert game over, your score is 7. Now let's go to the second level and see what's happening in there. We can see this is much faster and the shurikens are also moving, and you can't cross the walls, and you move a lot faster. Now let's see what's happening in the code. Here we can see the game menu, which is a simple HTML file. Here we can see that I connected the levels with hyperlinks, this is, and I also declared our background image in the sky section. Now let's go to the HTML file of the first level to see what's happening there. Here we can see that it's also a basic HTML file with the ID score, time, FinalProject, and the source project 1.js. Now let's see what's happening in the FProject 1.js file. This is our main place for the level 1. Here we can see that it connects the JS file with the HTML file with the name FinalProject. Under which we can see that we use 2D version of canvas. We say that our context is 2D version. Under which we can see the width and height of our canvas. Under which we can see that there is something that collects our scores that we collect during our level. Under which we can see that this connects the HTML score with the JS one. Here we can see the random function, which is used multiple times during the game. Let's see. Here we declared the images of the level 1. The background image, obviously, the bad guy image, shuriken image, and good guy image. Here we can see the object shuriken with its accent wise. We say that it should be randomly appear on the screen. Below it we can see that x delta and y delta of shuriken are 0 because it doesn't move in the first level. Under it we can see the width and height of the shuriken, which is pretty small, 17 and 70. We can see the image. Under it we can also notice the draw function, which helps us to draw the shuriken throughout the canvas. In the update function, we say that if a collision happens between the good guy and the shuriken, it should delete the shuriken from that space and appear, and we also should add our score by 1. Now let's see what's happening in the objective. Our hero. This is our coordinates x and y, the deltas, which are now 0, but we are going to use them later. Width and height of our hero, then the image and draw function. Here, as I mentioned above, we use draw function to draw our hero throughout the canvas. In the update function, we say that our good guy can move through the walls, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Now we can see what's happening in the object of our bad guy. Here, now, first of all, we created a function with count, canvas width and canvas height. First of all, we create the array which should collect everything that happens in this part of the game. Now we see the object. Here we can see the coordinates, the width, height, the image, deltas. That is first of all two. Then the draw function that helps us to draw the bad guys on the screen. Then the update function. Wait a second. Yeah, the update function, which says that if the collision happens, we should alert it and say game over. Your score is the score which is in the global scope and we used in the first part of our game. That's pretty much it. And yeah, when it hits the wall, it should change its direction. Now let's see what's happening in the. Yeah, also we specified the loop that it should be continuously. And at the end we return the array that collects all of these stuff. Then with the constant boxes we call the function with the count of our bad guys, canvas width and canvas height. And after it we can see the keys that we use to play the game, their numbers. The left key is 37 and so on. In this part document.add event listener, we say that when the key is pressed, its key down, they use this stuff. It's -5 and 5. This is the delta for our hero. And the key ups, when the key is not pressed, the X deltas and Y deltas should be 0. Now let's see the functions of all draw and update all functions, which are basically loops that helps us to draw all of these and it does moves. When we don't draw this function, we can see that it moves and we can see that the image is not cleared. It has a lot of images behind it. In the update function we also use a loop to update everything. Now it's the last part, which says our time. This is so I declared that our time the letter T is 60. Then with the set interval we say that it should decrease by 1 every second. So in the end, when it reaches the 0, it should alert you did not die, congrats, and your score is the score that you will collect. Then we called it with the HTML. Now is the last part, the loop part, which says that everything should be continuously happen on our canvas. We draw our image, then we used our draw function to loop our boxes boxes array object that we use bad guys in it. Then heroes, draw function, update function, the shurikens, and the last thing, we should update the score with the help of HTML and so on. The request animation frame, with the help of this we continuously loop everything, and under it we call the function. Now let's see what's happening in the HTML of level 2, which is basically exact same thing as in the FProject 1.html. Now let's see what's happening in the FProject 2. And now I'm not going to talk about every single detail because it is very similar to the level 1. Instead, I'm going to talk about the differences. In the shuriken part, we also say that the shuriken should also move in this part. this is all for the shurikens. Now let's see what's happening in the heroes object, which is basically the same. Nothing is changed. Instead, with this section it is eliminated the part when it crosses the walls. In this section, in this level, it can't cross the walls, and we can see the array in our object. Nothing is changed in this part as I remember. Then we can see the boxes which calls the function with 4 bad guys this time, and we can see that it's a lot more as faster as it's 7 instead of 5. And also we can see 2 keyups here, which is for the shuriken, as shuriken moves. Then is draw, update, and draw all functions. Then we see the pose, and it says in the first we also say that first our game pose is going to be false. Then we are going to change its value in our pose function. Here we say if it's not false, then play the game, and it's simple stuff. Then we also say that we should pause the game when the spacebar is pressed. And the spacebar key is 32, and we use the pause function to do this stuff. Then there is the set interval function, which is basically our numbers, the seconds. Then it's basically the same stuff as is in FinalProject1.js. The only difference is that here we say if game pose is false, as it's true, then all of these updates should happen. And this is all for my project. Hope you liked it, and yeah.